Hey, yes, I'm a furry. I'm in VR chat. But this video is not about that. Um, I wanted to explain a few things since a lot of you have probably worked out from my community posts and from my Discord, my places that you've seen me, and you've seen that my profile picture has been changed to a dark photo of Fox. Yeah, I can explain about that. Basically, I've been having a very difficult time managing my mental health um, for a few reasons. One is basically due to jealousy, which I am recovering from very slowly. Um, I mean, it might not be jealousy. I don't know, but there's a good chance that some jealousy was involved, and maybe a bit of overwhelming feeling when I was part of all these Discord servers and all part of these things that I was doing. Yeah, there was a lot going on. But mainly, um, there's something else that I want to get off my chest, and and there's a bit of a story behind this as well, which I am going to explain because why not? It's a free country, it's a free world. If people don't like it, they can. So, a long time ago, when I was with one of my ex girlfriends, I met up with them on bonfire night, and I don't really know how many years ago that it was that we met, or when it happened on the day. Um, but I met with them somewhere in the afternoon. I think it was after college or something. I can't exactly remember. Um, Now, my ex lived with a foster family, and they were lovely. I loved this person. They were very nice, but they were fake. Anyway, um, I met up with them, and obviously met their foster family, and they looked a bit unsure about me, like they thought I was some kind of weirdo or whatever. No, I'm joking. They thought I was whatever they thought that I was. But they couldn't have been too worried about me. No, I wouldn't cause any trauma. I wouldn't cause any drama or anything. Um, so I met up with them, and we were waiting outside for the family to get ready because we were going over to another house and we were going in their car. And I think we were in like a Ford. Um, can't remember the name of the brand of the car that we were in, but we got in the car and we got into the back seat. Okay, fair enough. Little did I know, in the passenger seat in the front of the car was someone there who was about to destroy my life. Now, I'm getting to that bit in a second, so please bear with me. Please be very patient because this is a sensitive topic to me personally. So we got in the car and we went over to this other neighbor's house, which was uh about 5 minutes away, 5-10 minutes away, so not really far. And we got there and we got out of the car and we went inside the house. Okay. And I walked in and I had a look. I thought, this is a nice house and everything. All of a sudden, the person who I mentioned in the front seat came behind me. It was a girl who was dressed all in black. She looked like a goth girl. Um, I was standing in front of two sofas, and she shoved me out the way so she can sit down. Clearly, she might be in the mood or something, and I just let him have some space. Okay, fair enough. Um, as time went on, we went outside into the back garden to play some football. give ourselves something to do while we wait for the food that we were having that night. And we were having like a korma. It's what we call it in the UK. We call it like a korma, chicken korma. It kind of looks like a curry, but it's without the spice. Anyway, so we were playing football in the backyard, and I was doing my best to get involved with the activities, even though I have even though I have trust issues with football because I'm always thinking that I'm going to get one football gonk to the face, which it never actually happened. But suddenly, this person tried to throw me over the fence whilst I was kind of waiting back in line and trying to get the ball or be goalie or just be there to kick the ball. And they were trying to, and they were even telling me that they were trying to throw me over the fence. What for? Which I'm a bit mean. So then I went and sit down somewhere inside or outside the house. And as time went on, when it got dark, I'm trying to remember what was going on. I think we were inside the house. I think. Oh, I was outside, sitting outside. I think I was by myself, and then my ex girlfriend came out to come and hang out with me to give me a bit of attention. That's nice. Um, and then obviously this other person had gone, so I felt a bit safe. And this is when things start to get a little bit worse. So I went inside the house because dinner was ready and food was ready. You have to bear with me because I might get a bit tearful whilst I'm explaining this. So please understand. We went inside the house and I went to go sit down and they gave me like a little paper bowl or something without any like cutlery. I think it was like a paper bowl. Maybe I had a spoon with it. I can't remember. And I was sat down and and my girlfriend was sat next to me, ex-girlfriend, but I'm just gonna say girlfriend just because it's in the story. And then their friend, their foster sister, so to speak, but I'm gonna call them foster sister. They were sat opposite me and they were looking at me. They were giving me a very unusual stare, like they wanted to kill me, like they were planning on like there was like a murderous intent in their face, like a face of hate, like a face of you annoy me, I'm mad at you, or whatever. Like they just had this kind of face, and half of their face was like covered by their hair, so they looked a bit shy. Um, and we were talking about music and stuff like that, and they were curious to see what my music was, and I felt really awkward. I was like, I wasn't really sure how to explain myself in that situation because obviously I have autism, and my autism makes it hard for me to socialize sometimes. But they did not know that, um, and as soon and honestly, the moments went on, and they were basically just making me feel uncomfortable. Um, and they made me feel that uncomfortable, gave me all these looks, and they were kind of. Then again, when we were out in the garden earlier, they were like when I was getting some space to breathe. Like obviously they weren't choking me or anything, but when I was taking a break from football, just going back a few places, I was hanging around the garden, just having a look around, having a bit of a nosy, just having a look around. I was bored, nothing to do, and they were like evading my personal space. So they were evading my personal bubble, and they were kind of like pushing me about something. They were making me feel uncomfortable. They were like kind of putting me on the spot, nearly, but not too much. Fast forward, um, they had football playing in the background, and then it was time for dinner. So they were dishing the dinner out, and then apparently I had to go up and get the food. But I was feeling so uncomfortable, I didn't really want to eat. I felt really unsafe, and as I was looking out at the night sky, I felt a bit homesick, and I didn't really want to eat. And they were asking me if I wanted any food, and I said, no, I'm not really hungry. At that point, I can feel my throat starting to tighten um, as I was watching them get their food. And Excuse me, I'm just processing it. And yeah, they were all having their food, and I was just sat there, kind of minding my own business, just doing nothing, looking down. And none of them asked me. Like everyone was kind of chilling out, and none of them really looked at me and asked me if I was okay. None of them really, were looking over me, see if I was okay when I was just sat there doing nothing. And fast forward later on, where we were going out to see the fireworks, I was starting to go outside again, and we all came out into the back garden, and then I was asking my girlfriend to join me to stand in front of me while I can hold her and watch fireworks. Just a little romantic moment. But then this goth girl had to make things worse. She was literally still invading my personal space, kind of telling me what not to do, what to do, and whatever. Kind of making me feel uncomfortable. You know, she was like really like the uncomfortable feeling, but it was like a threatening kind of thing. Like I felt like I was in a bit of danger. And they let me enjoy the fireworks, at least, so I didn't miss out on the fun that I wanted to have. But they were really trying to destroy my pride. They were almost making sure that I was not allowed to have fun. Crazy, right? And then as time went on, um, we were getting ready to go, and I was going to get my shoes on, and I can literally hear all the families, like I just hear the family like fighting to get out the house, getting everyone sorted. They were like yelling, come on, get your shoes on, come on, do this, do that. And I got my shoes on, and I just waited patiently at the front door, just me on my own. And then we went out the went out the door, and then we got in the car. I sat in the car whilst I was a bit cold, and then what else happened? Oh yeah, so one of the youngsters got in, one of the kids got in, and they like kind of bashed their head on the door, like the top of the door before they get into the car. And apparently they were punishing them. They were really like having a go at them because they made a mistake, and they were making them feel really bad for it. Bad, like bad caring there, like terrible. And they were crying their eyes out and everything, and I felt really bad for the boy. Like I wanted to do something, but I felt like if I moved, something bad was going to happen. So I didn't. So I just kind of stood there in silence and just kept my hands to myself. We got back to the house, and then at this point, this is where the story was about to come to a very bad ending. We got back to the house, we got out the car, and then I went to sit in the little outhouse bit, and they had a little red sofa which I can sit on, and I sat on there whilst I was with my girlfriend, and I messaged my stepfather to come and pick me up because I was ready to go home, even though I was feeling really uncomfortable and everything. Then randomly, this girl comes to invade my personal space again, whilst I'm trying to talk to my other girlfriend, and then the worst thing happens. Before she goes upstairs to say goodbye, she gets her fist and then she punches me right in the shoulder with all her might. She just punches me, which, like, it was right there, like, on, like, just inside of the shoulder, like, towards the collarbone. She punched me around there. Like, she really went like that. And she was laughing at me like that was like an assault that she committed. And my girlfriend had not realized that she'd done that, and she was also laughing. She wasn't even paying attention. She was too busy laughing. And so my stepdad came to pick me up, and at that point, my throat was that tight. I was like, I just want to go home. I want to go home. And then when I got home, I explained to them what had happened, and then that pretty much left like a little scar in my memory. Now that's the end of the story for that, but the third bit is where it also starts to all come together. And I might get a bit emotional with this, just saying. So, the third bit, now I explained the first reason was jealousy. The second one was the story. Now, the third reason is where I get a bit sensitive with this one. Years later, I got into like countless fights at home with family, massive disagreements. It was always fighting, always arguing, always getting angry. And I went to college and, I had some people be mean to me, I've, I seem to have grew like this PTSD fear of what that person had done because of how much they left a scar in my heart there from how they were treating me that very day. Really taught me a very, very harsh lesson that I was never meant to learn. And that is, they made me feel very undeserving. They really made me feel like that I was someone that should be avoided, someone who is an easy target, someone that should be picked on. And it was that bad. I started having other flashbacks. I remember back in primary school, I was playing at the playground. It was a sunny day, and I was happy. And then I was doing my little bit. I was hanging around the fence, having my own little nice time. Didn't mean to stick my tongue out. Sorry. And then this boy, who's called Noah. Oh, by the way, this other girl, this goth girl who hurt me, her name's Rose. And my ex-girlfriend, her name was Catherine. Interesting. But anyway, back to the third one. Noah, as I was playing, I was being happy, really kind of celebrating my, little break from my lessons. And he just gave me like this face of complete annoyance and uninterested look. And then he said to me, "No one likes you." Yeah, he said that just because I was having fun. And then I remembered that. And then I went back to the other situation and remembered that. And then, um, just having a think. And then, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. After that story was told, after what happened, I started losing a lot of good things in my life. Love, happiness, pride, joy, love. I think I mentioned connection, confidence. I lost a lot of what a good human being should be receiving and giving is like love mainly. Like love is the main thing, right? It's what God says. I'm not a Christian, but I believe in God because it just makes me feel good to say it, and I feel good thinking I believe in God. You don't technically have. I don't know if you have to be a Christian or not. I don't know how it works, but it after that day, from that story, years later, all the countless fights, all the I used to have countless fights at home with my parents, my sisters, siblings. It was countless fights over all God sorts of stuff, and it was just they were just trying to annoy me. They were trying to backstab me. They were they were trying to kind of impersonate what I was going to do. They were kind of like, I don't know what the word is to describe someone if you get into a fight and they say, "Don't go do this, don't go and do that, because if I say this, you're going to do this, you're going to do that," kind of thing. I don't know if it's passive aggressiveness. Anyway, I had that problem, and then that really boosted my anger levels and my really negative levels there. And then years later, it naturally just took over me, all these negative feelings of unloving and, well, undeserving. And when I got into Star Fox, I started making posters. I started making mental awareness videos and posters of like Fox and Crystal because they symbolize my depression in relation to the story. And what it does is that it takes the main key points out of all the stuff that I feel, all the undeserving feelings I have, and it puts it into these animations and stuff. Because I'm trying to tell people I am broken, I am numb, and I will not cry until it's the right time to, because I will not do it alone. I've done it before. Crying alone is just more painful, and it's not good. Um, and um, let me have a think. And yeah, it was constant flashbacks, and then years later, I started suffering from maladaptive daydreaming, and that grew stronger and stronger over time. And dealing with all these feelings of undeserving, made me want to be mean to myself. Made me want to not hurt myself, not in a suicidal way or self harm. No, I would never do that. But so much emotionally hurt myself, and to tell myself wrong things, and to make things seem impossible, or to make things feel like that I'm not supposed to be enjoying things, you know. And when I got this feeling of undeserving feelings, like I'm undeserving of happiness and stuff like that from what this person made me feel, I then it then came to me that I was getting a voice in the back of my head, which was exactly what that person was, telling me that all these feelings, all this stuff that you're enjoying is illegal. You're not supposed to be having it. You shouldn't be. You don't deserve to feel happy. You deserve to feel beaten up and torn apart. And they made me believe in something I wasn't supposed to. Hater energy, basically. And now I'm living in a condition where I even struggle to socialize. And if I hang around anybody, it doesn't matter who it is. If I hang out with anyone, I expect them to be mean to me. I expect them to shout. I expect them to do something in the same way as to what this other person did. I expect them to be mean. I expect them to do something to harm me. Why? Because this person, that's why I call it, it was the one person. It was that goth girl. She's the one person. She makes me believe this. And I never met her again. Yet she became nice to me in the end, but never apologized for what she had done. And I said to her, "What you did really hurt me." And she said, "Oh, I do it all the time to my friends." You never done it in the same way to me. Someone who is a lot more sensitive than you think, yet you didn't take that into account. You never asked, and you never knew I was autistic. People with autism are very sensitive, even if it's mild or high energy or low energy. That person is still very sensitive, yet you treat them as an easy target and you hurt them just because they're trying to have fun, and then you go and ruin their life. What kind of sick freak does that? Like, what kind of sick freak does that? I hope you're happy with what you've done. I hope you are happy knowing that I cannot live my life as happy as I could. And when I wanted to follow my dreams of becoming an animator and musician, you got in the way and you told me that I had to stop what I was doing and tell me that I don't deserve to enjoy it. And that I should deserve to feel pain, loss, beaten up, and expect people to be mean to you on command, even if you don't say a word. Going out and meet people and expect them to harm you when you know no, when even though no harm is going to come your way, yet you expect people to hurt you. You expect people to do stuff that you don't want to do and stuff that will make you walk out the room. And to add to that story as well, when I go out and meet people in social environments, if I'm in a group chat, like a Discord group chat, or if I'm on a call, where in fact recently I actually took part in one of the bi-monthly Zoom calls that Estelle, Ellis, and Chasen were doing. And there were a lot of people in there, and I was obviously very nervous. But they were talking so much, there was a lot of social energy going on, and I really wanted to talk to Estelle. I really wanted to have a proper chat with her, and I felt like I really couldn't. And I put my mic on mute and I was just at the computer holding my Christelle plushie. Um, and Estelle thought that all this time I was just chilling out, doing my own thing. When I eventually told her that I wasn't feeling happy, I felt really like pushed away. And that's because when I'm in a social place, and this story contributes to it as well. When I was over at this other house, this person, I was surrounded by lots of people. When I'm around lots of people who are very outgoing, who socialize a lot, who are very, very sociable, when it's like a busy restaurant, if I'm in a busy restaurant, even with people I know, it's mostly around people that I know. If it's people I don't know, I'm not bothered. But if it's people that I know and people I want to talk to and feel comfortable in and to be part of a conversation or be part of a situation, and yet they kind of close the door on me without them even realizing it, I start to feel pushed away. I start to feel really awful. And if Estelle sees this, I just want to let you know that's how I was feeling. I felt really pushed away, and I don't blame Jason. I know that he's a confident talker. I like the energy that he's got, but it's not his fault, and it wasn't anybody's fault. I blame myself, and even though I shouldn't be blaming myself, I do because yeah, it's what this person made me to believe. It's like trying to work in groups at working groups of people like in a school or in a pub, or if I'm talking to friends, hanging out, doing whatever, and I'm with people who are so good at talking, so confident, so happy, yet I try my best to keep up with them. And it's like trying to talk to someone, hey guys, did you know that? Did you know that? And then you kind of swallow it down, you get lonely. I am someone who's experienced this dozens of times. And that's exactly how I felt in that situation. And then and then when it was coming to the end of the group chat, I just left without saying goodbye. And then I left the group chat. I left the Patreon. I cancelled my subscription. I left. Um, I left the Discord servers. The two Discord servers I left. One which Jason had, and then Crystal one. I left it, and I said to Estelle I left these group chats. And then I left a group chat that one of my friends were having because I was getting too jealous and I left. And they wanted me back. And as soon as I left, I felt really awful. Like I felt like I made a bad decision. And now I feel like everyone hates me for doing that. Like, and it was even Christmas as well. That's the worst thing about it is I left. I joined the Patreon bit, which was that meant more to me than anything because it was a new thing. And I joined the group chat and Um, got my name on the list where Estelle sent me a Christmas card, like a Christmas card. I didn't feel like I deserved that for some reason, but she sent me one anyway. And obviously, I thank her so much for that. And I wanted to give something back, but I felt like I couldn't give her anything. You know, I wanted to give something to my community for like Halloween, for example. Like, I wanted to like make posters for Halloween because it was a season. I felt like for every season I had to make like a poster or something so that it would keep me famous. And um, and then I felt like I had to do one for Christmas. Like, I've got these projects coming up, and I feel like as soon as I get to New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, and I start celebrating New Year's, that's when I'm gonna fall apart because these projects would never get completed, and then that would just be the end. I have failed trying to be popular in something, trying to be someone, and then it doesn't work. And I see other people getting successful, and that takes on me, and yeah. Thing is, I feel like I'm on my own most of the time, especially in VR chat. I normally join in here alone, and I feel really bad. And I've met people in VR chat where people have been sad before, and I've wanted to help, and I got pushed away for trying to help someone. And I wanted to. I wanted to get emotional. And since Christmas is coming up, hearing like joyful Christmas music and there's certain Christmas songs that make me want to cry because I just still feel so lonely. I feel like I haven't been able to even celebrate Christmas properly. I just I just felt like I wasn't allowed to hang out with people. I felt like there were better people than me that people wanted to hang out with. They didn't want me. Why why am I like it's like basketball. I'm never chosen. And yet I make mistakes. I get angry with people when I don't want to. I push people away when I don't want to. I go to work and I play music that causes me to maladaptive daydream, which causes me to feel upset when I don't want to. The thing is, I haven't felt love in a long time, and I've always wanted to hug someone. I've never gotten a hug in years, like not even a proper long hug or a. I've never had any tender love and care from anyone in years. I've been alone most of this time. I don't care if even if I don't live home alone or whatever, I still feel lonely because I don't fit in with that jigsaw puzzle. That's why I'm relying on my friends now because they they want to hear from me. They wanna see me. Yet I feel like no one wants to see me, and I'm expecting everyone to walk away. I'm expecting you to walk away. Like you don't care that I'm sad, like you don't care, like my stories mean nothing, like I'm annoying. My story annoys people, and I feel undeserving because of this. I'm just expecting everyone to leave. Just so I make sure that I don't get the tender love and care that I really deserve. Because I feel like I have to give it and not receive it. I don't know. That's why I'm making this video, guys, because I know that a lot of you out there care about me, and I care about you. And obviously, I'm really sorry that I feel this way because I just feel really unloved at the moment. I feel really numb. I feel really detached from it all. And I don't want to feel this way. I want to feel connected to everyone. I want to feel like I've hit a goal or made someone happy or helped someone. Like I mean something to someone. That's just all I want. I just want everything to look good and feel right. And nothing ever does. And I end up regretting it after. I end up regretting even this video. I end up regretting it. I end up regretting everything I say because it sounds stupid. Like no one's interested to hear it. You know, it's really stupid. It's really bad. It's really blah 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 blah. When I've just explained my heart in this video to people. I'm just so glad that I've got you guys to understand, but please understand that I feel like no one is listening to me. That I feel unheard of. Please understand that I feel that I'm in a position where I feel like that people need to leave me alone. That people need to walk away from me. Don't go to me. Don't even bother looking at me. Don't even come to me. Like this furry doesn't deserve to be part of all this. Like they deserve to be out there alone. And it's because of that one person it's because of that one person who made me feel this way. And I have trouble venting. When I try to vent, I get told off for venting. I feel like I'm not allowed to vent. I feel like I'm not allowed to do a lot of things. So please, guys, please do not judge me. Do not hate me. Do not push me away. Do not treat me as someone you hate. Treat me as someone like you love. Because the more you love me, the more I'm going to love you. It doesn't matter who you are, I'm going to love you anyways. As long as you're a good person, I will be good for you. Since Christmas is coming up, all I can think of is no presents and a sack full of coal. Yet, when I told this story to my belief coder, she said that, you know, these are feelings that don't belong to me. I feel like they do. Question is why? Why do I feel like this? Why am I attached to this? It feels like a disease, all these feelings, all this stuff. So, all I'm saying is, guys, I'm just really sorry for trying. I'm just really sorry for everything. I'm sorry that I couldn't be very successful. I'm sorry that I can't please everyone. I'm sorry that it just isn't enough. I'm believing a lie and I don't know why. So please look after me where you can, because I'm in a vulnerable state. I'm messed up in my feels. And 9 times out of 10, when I stop recording this video, I'm probably gonna go and let some tears fall. because all I'm picturing now is decorating a tree by myself whilst listening to some Christmas music. Whilst no one's in the house. Yeah. But the main thing is, I wanted to get this off my chest. And this is something I feel really good about, to explain what's going on in my mind, because sometimes I feel like I can't do that. So that's why I've made this video, because I'm sharing it with people who care. Your help will mean a lot to me. Any little help you make will, honestly, just please guys, just please help me where possible. I will give back what I can to help you as well. Let's work together. Let's be a team. Because I don't want to live this other life anymore. I want to be... I want to be made special to someone. I want to be part of something. Is it too much to ask? Okay. Well, I want to thank you all for taking the time to listen to me. And please make sure you like and subscribe. I'll promise to try and get Rewind 2 out by Christmas, or before Christmas, if I can. My work doesn't make sense, but that's just how it is, okay? Nothing makes sense with me. That's why my work isn't very successful. It does make sense, but a lot of you don't care, and that's good. You're happy even if it doesn't make sense. But honestly, guys, this is from me to you guys. Because of all the help that you've given me, all the support has really meant a lot. And I'll try my best to keep going where I can. Because I know that you guys like Star Fox and you like wholesome stuff and you like all this other bits. I know what you guys like, and I'll try my best to make it for you. But please understand that I'm not perfect. Okay? That's good. And hopefully we can be friends forever and all that. So thank you. And I'll see you next time. Thank you. And I love you. Goodbye.